Now for the next set of examples, we're going to think about the definition of a function. You know, we have a x coordinate, we have a y coordinate, we have an input value, we have an output value. And if you remember that if we have f of x is equaling to some number, okay, well, this x value is going to be our input, and then what is equal to will be our output. Okay, so for example, you have the ordered pair of, let's just say, I'm making up something, 1 comma -7. Well, your x coordinate, that's your domain. That would be your input. The y coordinate would be your um, range. Okay, that would be the output. Now we could write this as f of 1 would equal to -7. That's the same, it's the same um, answer as this ordered pair, but it's written as a function notation. So as we look at the graphs that we have here, it says you for A, use the graph of the following function f of x to find f of 0. Is this giving us the input value or output? This f of 0 is giving us the input value. This is your input. It's giving us x. So we want to find y. So what you can do, what we're going to do is look along the x coordinate and stop at 0. Okay? What value or what point on the line has an x coordinate of 0? Okay? So if you noticed, I'm circling the point here. This point, its location is 0 comma -1. Okay, 0 comma -1. Well, our input is f of 0, so we're saying at f of 0, its value is, or its output value is -1. So for this example, the input value was given. Let's look at example B. It says use the graphs, if necessary, of the functions below. Find g of 2. Now, if you notice, you have two graphs. One graph is labeled f of x, this parabola. The other one is labeled g of x. Which one will we use to find g of 2? Okay, well, the g of x graph we're going to use. So we're not going to use this because that's not needed. That's not what's in the question. So look at your points. Here we have -5, 0. Here we have 0, 0. Then the third point we have 2, 0. What is g of 2? Which point has an x coordinate or an input value of 2? And if it has an input value of 2, what will be the output, the y value? So we're saying g of 2 is equal to 0. So input values are given here. Let's look at the next example, C. where this is C and D is a little bit different because for C it says use the graph of the function f of x to find x such that f of x is 3 equal to 3. So this is an indication here where I have f of x is equal to 3. This is my y coordinate. This would be the output. I want to find the input. I want to find the value of x. If we write it as an ordered pair, 3 is the y coordinate. So which point has a y coordinate of 3? This first point that I'm pointing to, that ordered pair is -1, -5. The next one is 0, -1. The third one is 1, 3. What is the x? What is x? X would be 1. So therefore you're saying f of 1 is equal to 3. For D, use the graphs, if necessary, of the functions below. Find all values of x such that f of x is equal to 6. We have the output. That's 6. If we want to write it as an ordered pair, the x coordinate is 6. Find the y coordinate is 6. Find x. So here it says f of x is equal to 6. We have an f of x equation. We have a g of x. G of x is not needed. We're going to use the f of x. So which point of points will have or has a y coordinate of 6? So we have this point here, which is, let's see, -1, -2. That's -2, 6. And then what is the other one? This is -5, -6. Let's see, -5. This is -6 here. So we have -6, 6. Okay, so what are all values of x? So you have a value of -2, and then you also have a value that's -6. These will be your solutions right there for the x value. So you're going to have to be able to decipher what is given. Is the input given or is the output given? And one of the other coordinates is going to be given where the other one is not going to be given. So definitely focus and look at your graphs where those coordinates will match what is given in the question.